Okay, this will be a tutorial on how to make an authentic looking Native American arrowhead from the bottom of a brown beer bottle. Okay, this is how it goes. First you'll need a couple of tools. You need a rock or anything. I'm using this. It's some sort of a wrench. And what you're going to do first is bust off all these rough edges and parts that'll cut you while you're working on it. You want to get rid of those, and what you want is just the bottom of the bottle itself, no part of the sides of it. So yeah, the way I do this is just very decisive strikes. There we go. And rough out the rough shape of it. And what you want to do is start with the point. Shape the point first, and then work your way to the back of it to get the rear of the arrowhead. Hopefully I can get this all in. Got a hammer too, but yeah, this will work. Alright. See, so what we have now is this piece of glass that's big enough to make an arrowhead out of. And what you have here is you can make a choice. Do you want this to be the point or this to be the point? And the way I figure that out is I just keep going on it. I just keep knocking off these edges that might cut me, and then by the time I'm down to the bare bones of it, then it's pretty much decided itself, because there'll be parts removed, and gone that would slow you down later on. So it solves itself. And these are very effective arrowheads. I used to sell them to tourists when I was a kid. Well, not a kid, but years ago. You get about $2 a piece for them. And it's just an empty beer, empty beer bottle, and it's pretty good, for something that's going to be thrown away anyway. And it looks like obsidian, which obsidian is rather hard to come by sometimes. And so you make do with what you got. And eventually you see the shaft of this arrow is like this, and it goes like that. You see. And then that would be tied down with sinew or dental floss, whatever you got, And then here, the fletching is just whatever feathers you can find. Usually it's they use the feathers from opposite wings on the bird, so that the feathers lay the right direction and whatnot, so it flies straight. But so we'll get into that later. But say it's authentic looking. It really is authentic, because the Native Americans would use anything they had, when anything available. And there's a funny story about the railroad, and there were these railroad lights, I guess, that had glass that was made of red glass lenses. And the Indians, no matter what tribe they are, they revere the color red. They love it, and to have a red arrowhead is like good medicine. So the railroads could never keep these lanterns out there with the red glass in them, because the Indians would always steal them and make arrowheads out of them, which I thought was kind of neat, make a beautiful arrowhead, red glass. Here we go. We'll keep going on this. And what you'll want is a piece of leather too, because sometimes you'll be working this on your lap, and most people would use gloves, but I've done this so many times that I don't get cut anymore. But I've literally made hundreds of these, and sometimes 4 out of 5 of them don't come out because they break, you know, when you're just getting the finer details on it, you know. You'll be going one more little chip off of here and it'll be finished, and then bam, you know, it's just the wrong thing at the wrong time, and it breaks in half and you got to start over. But the idea is to flake this glass off so that there is no more of the factory finish on it. It's a molded smooth finish. What you want to do is take the chips to where they curl around the arrowhead so that this factory finish is eliminated, you know, so you don't see that anymore. All you see is the chipped, you know, edges of it, and that's what, you know, because it's not necessary if you're going to use the arrow to hunt with or something like that, but you know, the tourist trade, I don't know, I just took better pride in it. You know, I've seen arrowheads that made of obsidian that they obviously used a grinder, you know, on it. It's like, wow, that's not very authentic, you know. And I'm hoping this will be a tutorial and not a watch me build this thing. Some of the stuff is a little hard to describe, you know. But I'm hoping you can just, I mean, if you're interested in it and you're curious how this is, see there? That's why you save you save one point of it, you know. To see the tip of that just went off. It was just what I was talking about. But see, there's still the shape of an arrowhead in here, so that's why you keep the ends open. That's why you work on the point first, you know. And then when you have a good point on there, then you work your way to the back of it and put the butt end of the arrowhead in on into it. All right. And let's see if I can describe any of this. There are different ways to hit this piece of fake obsidian here to produce different shaped chips out of it, and it has to do with angles, and like a striking force like that, you know, is different than taking it and chipping it off that way. You see, that produces a finer chip, and it's great for details, you know, when you need to get something, you know, especially when you're trying to get rid of the factory finish on it or something like that, you know. Factory finish that's smooth, it's a dead giveaway that it's not obsidian, you know. But let's see, I've probably jinxed this one. Hope not. Sometimes nothing else works except go ahead and get a hammer and a rock of some type, and go ahead and put it on there, on the part that you want to break off, and go ahead and there we go. And that's what the leather's for too. It keeps the, and you know, should wear safety glasses, you know, but around here safety's not the number one priority, you know. I mean, it sucks to get a chip of glass in your eyeball, but you know, it's the risk I take. I mean, I would wear goggles, you know, glasses if I were you, and gloves too, but especially if you've never done this before. There we go. Now you see the shape of it coming out through here. All right, and I don't see any cracks going through it that would indicate that it's going to break somewhere along mid-process of making this thing. So that's good. There we go. And what what I'm doing is just putting the edge of this tool against the pointed edge of the piece of material that I'm trying to remove from here, and anywhere that it'll fit in. Like right now, I'd be taking a shot at this one right here. So, and you got to look at the curve of the glass. So I would attack it from this angle. See how the tip of it, this tool will just rest like that. It holds it there. So you don't have to, you don't really have to do much, but just make sure that it stays on there. And then, give it a good decisive tap, and there you go. And